eyes can see, victory is mine. Yeah, surprisingly, I've been laying, waiting for your next mistake. I put in work and watch my status escalate. Now I'ma start collecting props, connecting plots, networking like a conference. Cause the nonsense is yet to stop. Jake, shake me down, haters wanna take me down. Break.
We're here at the Farmington Hills Golf Course, and we are filming our project on the techniques of golf. And Akbar, who is a great specialist, he is going to show us his very great styles. So we have selected him because he is the best golfer.
So golf is a wonderful sport comprised of 18 holes, usually par 72, where you have 4 par 5s, 4 par 3s, and 12 par 4s. And ideally, the goal is to hit your tee shot, then hit the green, and then 2 putts par on a par 4. So the whole idea is to get your golf ball into the golf hole, which is several hundred yards away. So the first shot being the tee shot, what that is the beginning of the play. It's where there are markers and you have 2 club lengths to be behind the marker, and that is where your first shot takes place. Often you use a driver, which is this club right here. Probably the hardest club to hit in golf. So once you've hit the driver, which obviously travels the furthest distance, so let's see how it's done here.
Normally where I lived there was a jailbreak, but that's okay.
So hitting a driver looks something like this. $250 or something. It wasn't too good, but it'll do. So after your driver, on an average par 4, you'll probably have a 7 or an 8 iron to the green. So I'll hit a 7. Now this is an iron. This is like your mid-range club, and this is to approach the green, which is where you'll do the putting and where the hole is located. So when you're swinging an iron, it looks something like this.
Okay, I'll be, remember where we first met?
And now, God forbid I didn't hit the green, I'd probably be using a wedge. Now why I would use a wedge is because I'm close enough to the green and this has a high loft, meaning the ball doesn't travel as far with this club. Yeah, it'll go high, sure, but it won't go as far. Alright, so if I miss the green with my iron, I'd be using a wedge to get onto the green. And now wedges, again, they're higher loft, lower distance. And with a wedge, often you're going to keep the lower body really quiet. And I'll try to trip it just to the end of this short grip. Went a little long, but that's the idea. You got to keep the lower body quiet, and it's mainly arms and shoulders. Lower body quiet means you minimize movement, allowing you to be a little more consistent. Have a lower center of gravity and just go through it. All arms. You don't want to get too fancy wide, like so. Now this right here is a hybrid, a 2-degree hybrid. A lot lower loft, only 18 degrees. 18 degrees is the angle of the club face relative to the ground. So, you know, for instance, a wedge has a really high loft, and this hybrid is very relatively flat to the wedge. Meaning it'll travel lower but go further. You'll probably be using a hybrid on like a par 5, you know, on your second shot or something if you're trying to hit the green, because it'll go a lot further. Or a long par 4 to hit the green in 2. Starting the downswing, of course you'll be up here, and what begins it is the lower body. You start to unwind the lower body, undoing that rotation, which naturally you can see brings down the hands. So you unwind, and when you get to about parallel, that's when you release the wrists. You're all coiled up, and it goes lower body, wrists. Boom. There are a series of clubs called wedges. Now this is a 60-degree wedge. The highest loft allowed is 64. And 60 is almost there, so you know the ball will go really high. And these are meant for shots, you know, around the green to put it really close to the hole. And ideally they're meant for, you know, minimizing putts. This is a 56, or some people also call it a sand wedge. This goes a little lower than the 60-degree. Meaning it'll travel a little further. And again, these wedges are meant for by the green shots. This right here is a 52, also called an approach or a gap wedge. Because it even has a lower loft than the 60 or the 56, it'll go even lower and travel a little further. And that'll almost complete our wedges.